AI is moving faster and faster. Every week, there's a new tool that launches that changes the way you work, learn, or create. But which ones are actually worth your time? Today, I'm breaking down the top 10 hottest AI tools you can use today, from assistants to platform that literally builds websites for you in minutes. Let's dive right in. So the first app that I'm trying out is ChatGPT. I use it every single day, and there are a couple of tips and tricks that I want to share. It's the OG app, but recently it's actually leveled up a lot. So now they actually have memory unlocked, which allows them to actually remember all your past conversations, and you can ask questions like, GPT, how was I feeling today? And it can answer you based on all your past conversations and history. You can now also use all their ChatGPT plugins. So recently I've tested the Video GPT by Veed, and this is an instant and free AI video maker. So you can do things like turn your idea into a video with AI with no editing needed. It can also convert long videos into short social clips, so you can share it on TikTok, Reels, and all the other different platforms. Something that I also want to share is obviously the voice feature that I've been using a lot. So what I can do now is that I can pull up ChatGPT, and this is what will appear. So for example, ChatGPT, everything that I say, translate this into Chinese Mandarin.
Got it. I'll translate everything into Mandarin for you.
Okay, you can start now. ChatGPT is a voice language feature that allows you to ask any natural language questions. Translate this to Chinese.
好的 ，GPT 是一个语言功能，允许您用自然语言提问任何问题。
So just as simple as that, I use it as my assistant. I use it to do direct translations, whether I'm talking to someone that, maybe doesn't speak the English language. So this is a very intuitive tool that I've been using. So what you can also do is that besides the voice function, you can also use all the models that it has. So obviously the ChatGPT 4.0 model is one of the most used models currently. Recently, there's a Ghiblification feature that allows you to transform any images that you upload into a Ghibli effect. So I'm going to show you how it works. It's very simple. Just simply upload a photo and then, ask the 4.0 model to transform this image into a Studio Ghibli style feature. And just like that, the model will essentially do that. So ChatGPT, to be honest, is one of the most used tools. And I use it for summarization. I use it to help craft my, storylines if I'm doing content. And I use it for video generation as well, because their latest image generation model works really, really well. So the next feature I'm going to talk about is Kaito AI. So Kaito AI is a search engine for Web3, which allows you to search for any projects or tokens that we index. We index over 1,500 tokens at the moment. And what you can see is you can see a project's mindshare, sentiment, and all the information across different sources that's being covered about a project. So I use this specifically for pairing it with my trading needs. So for example, I set up a watch list that screens all the tokens that I'm researching. I also use this to look at the overall market sentiment to see how the crypto market is faring. What you can also do is that you can filter for any given tokens in this list, and essentially what it does is that you can pull a TLDR function, which is the AI generated summary tool that we have. So what this does is that it breaks it down to official announcements, opinions, and research. So all the tweets or all the Discord sources or Twitter spaces that's been covered about a project. I use this to essentially follow, all the new Twitter spaces that's being hosted or podcasts relevant to the crypto space. So something that you can also use is you can leverage the Kaito Copilot and to essentially ask any natural language questions. So for example, I can do filter for Bitcoin, and based on the last 24 hours and all the information that's being talked about regarding the ticker Bitcoin, I can ask it to, summarize, all the tweets that's being talked about regarding Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. And this essentially, pulls all the relevant individuals that are talking about a certain token and gives you the information. So I use this every single day because it allows me to stay attuned to all the news in the crypto market. And, it pairs really well with any research that I'm doing for a token as well. So the next tool I'll be talking about is Flora. So Flora is an intelligent canvas that allows you to supercharge your AI workflows across different formats, different platforms, and different models. So I could do things like connect between different AI tools to build very complex creative workflows. Typically, the flow would be, users using ChatGPT or other models to do text-based prompting, and then maybe I would port over to Flux or any image generation features. And then if I want to maybe transform my images into videos, I will use Hailuo or any other, video generators. But basically what this does is that it loses the flow because I'm constantly having to switch between different models and different formats and platforms. So the platform essentially offers a node-based system where users can connect different AI tools to build very complex creative workflows. So let me show you an example. So I will pull up the app, Flora Fauna.ai. And what I've done here is that I've created a, interactive 3D logo just based on very simple prompts. So essentially I uploaded the Kaito logo, and based on this, I prompted it to generate a 3D version of the logo. And then based on the 3D version, I will use a different video model to transform this into a very simple moving model that's quite nice and sleek. So this is how you can use it for a lot of the marketing and creative work that you are doing. Very simply, upload a singular photo or just prompt it to do something. And you can also leverage a lot of their other workflows. So for example, these are all the popular workflows that they have. So this is an example of an abstract motion design that they've created. So what this person has done is that it's generated a shape, and then based on the shape, it's done quite a few variations, and then you can, convert this image into a video as seen here. So there's a lot of flows that you can already leverage based on whether you want to develop a game, whether you want to do product design, illustrations, and then you can also create your own styles or leverage their own styles. So for example, they already have, fisheye, motion blur, monochrome, soft focus, and a lot of the other styles that you can leverage. You can also use this with your team members as well. It's a paid plan, but they have a couple of credits that you can get started with. So the next tool that I want to talk about is HeyGen.ai. HeyGen allows you to edit your videos and to create AI avatars out of it, or you can also do direct translations of your videos that allows you to do perfect lip sync or near perfect. How it works is that, you can go to the platform app.heygen.com. You can look at the tools that they have. So for example, create a video or translate a video is the most popular tools, and translate a video is actually something that I just tried, and it's extremely cool. So first, what you can do is that you can upload a video. So choose the video that you want, and for example, this is the video that I chose where I was doing a review on a virtual try-on app. So first, select an original language, or it helps you to auto-detect the language that you're speaking from, and then you can also do target language. So for example, with this video, I want to target Mandarin speakers, so I picked Chinese Mandarin, and the number of speakers is 1. It's just myself, and then the voice that it generates to is based on my own voice. So I submitted it for translation, and 1 minute later, I was really thrilled with the video that it basically presented. So this is the video, so let's watch it.
嗨，大家好我想给你们展示我关注的虚拟纸船，这把消费者应用程序提升到了一个新的水平，将时尚和人工智能结合在一起，而这正是我个人非常感兴趣的东西。
So the next tool that I want to talk about is DeepSeek. So DeepSeek is an open-weight LLM lab. It's a very good platform if you want to get access to cutting-edge open models for both chat and coding tasks. So DeepSeek offers a range of models. So there's DeepSeek LLM for general chat and instructions, and also the DeepSeek Coder. So this is for highly optimized coding workflows that you want to do. So typically users would use the DeepSeek LLM model for general chat, An example of how I would use this is I ask it to write a full Python script that scrapes the top 10 trending topics from Twitter and save these results into CSV file and automatically update it every hour. So based on this, this model reasons very quickly. It's able to do very complex tasks, and it's also open source, which is very cool. Next tool I want to talk about is Grok. So Grok is a AI chatbot on X. It's available for all X Premium subscribers. So as long as you're paying for X Premium Plus, it's baked into the app alongside the other features like, likes, posts, DMs, etc. So Grok is designed to be a bit more witty, a bit more rebellious, and sarcastic compared to other chatbots. It's supposed to have a bit of a sense of humor, and it's designed to, answer some spicier questions that other models might refuse. So Grok is tightly plugged into real-time data from X, so it gives it a stream of live public information that other chatbots might not have direct access to. This means it theoretically can surface trending conversations much faster. So for example, I asked a question like, what is the sentiment for the tariff war on X? So what it does is that this searches all the relevant tweets that are talking about the tariff war. And this thinking, for example, was done in less than 30 seconds, and it searches from over 40 sources. So I would use this if I want to find information about anything that's being talked about on X or surface the top trending conversations that's happening on X. It can also generate images. So for example, you can go to the image function, and it also works quite well compared to, ChatGPT or any other models out there. So the next tool I'll be talking about is Manus AI. So I actually did a full detailed video covering Manus a couple weeks ago, so I'll put it in the description below so you can check it out. Essentially, Manus is a general purpose AI agent that's designed by a Chinese startup, Monica. So this launched in March 2025. So unlike traditional chatbots that you might have seen, Manus allows you to autonomously execute tasks without continuous human guidance. So it interprets natural language instructions and independently plans and carries out actions to achieve the specific goal that you want the model to achieve. So for example, I've done a very simple research analysis. So I asked the AI agent to help me do a research on ultra-human rings versus aura rings. So I think it took about 20 minutes for this whole research to play out. What it's done is that it created a research directory and then helps compare all the different features that both of these rings provide. Pricing, hardware specifications, battery life, app functionality, etc. And it browses, all the web and different sources. This is completely done without any human guidance, just one prompt. And, the research that it's actually given out is very comprehensive. So there's a lot of examples of prompts that people have done with this AI bot. So this is very good if you want the agent to essentially execute for you. This can be done when you're sleeping as well, which is the coolest part. So the next tool that I want to talk about is Lovable. So Lovable can transform your ideas into apps in seconds. So what this can do is that it can be your personal full stack engineer. So for example, you can also import your Figma. So use the Builder.io Figma plugin, and then you can select your frame and layouts, and then you can export to code and then use Lovable, for example. What you can also do is that you can attach different designs that you have that you want to create landing pages for. So for example, I can ask Lovable to help me create a landing page for a blog. So let's see what it does. So obviously, the more context, the more designs, and the more assets that you feed into it, it becomes more powerful. But essentially, it's very cool if you just want to convert an idea into an app very quickly. So the next app I want to talk about is Bolt. Bolt allows you to prompt, run, edit, and deploy full-stack web and mobile apps in a matter of seconds. So what you can do is that you can do natural language prompting, and then this converts into a website or app, depending on your choice. So with the example that I've done, I first asked it to create a similar landing page to Kaito AI's page. Obviously, this is not perfect. It requires a bit of coding effort to really understand, what you're trying to create. So I wouldn't say that it's going to be perfect in just one prompt. You probably need a seasoned coder to help look at your code to see where you can, improve. But what Bolt actually does is that you can actually enhance the prompt using the AI prompt enhancer that they have. So this allows you to improve your prompt and make it much more detailed. Secondly, I asked Bolt to create an app for me that allows anyone to upload an image and uses Google reverse search to see where this item is from. And it's actually very impressive because you essentially only need to ask a very detailed prompt. The more detailed, the better. The more context you give it, the more assets you feed in, the better. But one prompt goes a really long way with Bolt. So the next tool I want to talk about is Notebook LLM. So Google's Notebook LLM allows you to pull various sources from different mediums, different texts, and allows you to help synthesize information very clearly. So for example, I'm feeling adventurous today. I want to dive into a new topic. I'm curious about what's the difference between Claude GPT and other LLMs and other models. So just basically based on this, I can click on the discover sources and then type what I'm feeling interested in. And based on this, it helps me pull different sources to help me learn from it. And based on what I have so far, I can ask any questions from all the 10 sources that I have here. It also helps me to prompt different questions to ask. And then based on this, I can generate a AI-generated podcast. So 2 people will be talking here. There'll be 2 hosts. And then what I've also done is that you can look at, the timeline of how LLMs evolved just based on any sources that you're pulling. You can also ask it to generate mind map for you. And this mind map is completely interactive. It can help me learn much quicker than I would without using the Notebook LLM.